Okay, in this video we're going to take a look at how to use the debugger in Eclipse. And to do this we're going to look at a more simplified version of the program we just wrote that's problem 12 in chapter 3. So we're going to simplify this by deleting these lines. So this program now, all it determines is when the user enters a number, it prints out whether or not they're both divisible by 5 and 6. If they are, it prints out this message. If they're not, nothing happens. So let's see how, and then we're also going to actually make an intentional mistake in this program. So I'm going to add a semicolon at the end of the condition after the parenthesis. This is a very common mistake and it's hard to find. Notice that this isn't a syntax error. Nothing is underlined in red here. So that makes it more difficult to figure out what's wrong. So we're going to run this, and we're going to enter a number. We're going to enter the number 30. And it says 30 is divisible by both 5 and 6, so it seems like everything's great. But this is why it's important to test all different control flow paths. So we're going to run this program again, and I'm going to type in the number 27. It says 27 is divisible by both 5 and 6. That's wrong. That's not true. So we have some kind of a mistake here. So what we can do is we can use the debugger in Eclipse to step through this program. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a breakpoint by double-clicking right here, and I get this little blue dot. And then instead of clicking the Run button, I'm going to click on this Debug button. It looks like a little bug. So I'm going to click on that. And this actually opens up in a different perspective. So we can say yes. And here we get an interesting view of our program. So the most important windows are here. This is our code that we see executing. Our code ran until the breakpoint. So it executed these statements, and now it's waiting at this breakpoint right here. So that's what this arrow indicates. This console window is showing us what the user is seeing. And then up here in the variables window, we're seeing the current value of all of the variables in our program. So the input is, the variable input is of type scanner, and the variable args is any command line arguments that got passed to our main method, which isn't relevant for this program. So what I can do now is I can step through this program one at a time. So if I go up here, I'm going to step over this line that I'm currently on. And I'm going to need to type in the number here. Let's type in 27. And then my program went to the next line. So it only moved one line down. Now if we look up here in the variables window, we see the new variable number that got declared and initialized on that line. And we see that number has a current value of 27, which is correct. So now if I click on the step button, I'm going to go to the next line in my program. So we see that it went into the if statement even though it should have. So this allows me to kind of figure out where in my program the particular error happened, and I can focus on, okay, I definitely know there's something wrong with this line, and I can look closer to see what that error might be. It's a little hard with this example because it's so small it seems trivial, but in the future programmers that use the IDE's debugger, such as Eclipse debugger, are much faster in finding their errors than programmers that don't. So if I want to stop this, I'm going to hit the red stop button. And at this point I know what's wrong, so I'm going to go over here to my Java perspective. I'm going to delete the semicolon, and I'm going to rerun the program and see that now it works correctly.